What is your kind of day-to-day and what is kind of your role now as like the CEO of a company?
Very busy, but I wouldn't have it any other way. I absolutely I love what I do. Even on the great days, the hard days are all the same to me at this point. But like we talked about, team's important. So I no longer am media buying, right? I'm no longer editing the website, designing the website. I'm heavily involved in product development, product innovation. I'm heavily involved in distribution and sales, branding, things like that. But I've been fortunate to hire some incredible team members and partners that do a lot of that day to day now, right? So on the Snow side, which allows me, my biggest principle about management with especially high performing individuals is move to higher value work. So if you can elevate your people, I like to triple train, something that I learned watching John Paul DeJoria, triple train your people so that in case of a contraction or recession or something, they know how to do three things. You get someone who, I can kind of design a website. Well, let's work on that too. Let me take an hour every day because I want you to sharpen that just in case you do a little bit of everything. You dibble and dabble, but it drives value. And then the second piece of that, which is my most important one, is move to higher value work. So if I can elevate my people to instead be doing manual data entry, let's say, and they can outsource that on Upwork, and then now we can utilize their brain in a different facet, and it's higher value to the organization. And how do you quantify higher value? In my businesses, especially the branded businesses, it's brand equity and profitable sales, profitable growth, customer growth, whatever. So if it does one of the two, it's worth discussing. If it does both, it's worth moving on very quickly, and we should discuss it now. If it hits neither, let's keep thinking about, chew on it. And so I give my people a ton of autonomy. Hire really great people and do your best to get out of their way. Don't get your eyes off the ball, but really create an arena where there's a healthy level of competitiveness, not too overwhelming, but you got to figure out, if you're only going to have 50 people, you're not hiring 5,000, so you need 50 really good people. And you need to be willing to move people out of that organization or into different roles if it's hurting the organization. So I think that's, for my day-to-day, I'm on a lot of calls, right? A lot of conference meetings, conference calls with my executive team, with directors, with the whole team, with partners, retailers. I'm jumping on a pitch. Like I said, we just launched Nordstrom. In the old days, I would have had to do all of that, right? But because I've got a solid team there and I've got a really good partner and our VP of sales, I can rely on someone like Amber to carry that ball forward. And then I try my best to teach my team on how to best use me. And so it's that way they know when to bring me in. They know when, they get better and better. You coach them through that. And so my days mostly on calls. Like I said, I'm hunting on LinkedIn all the time. I love it. I stay up at night sometimes just doing that. It's fascinating. It's everyone put their resume online. It's genius, and it allows me to go and find everybody, like people. It's amazing. So I do a lot of that. So recruiting is huge. Product development, product innovation, sales and distribution expansion. So those type of meetings, distributors, etc. Critical meetings. So if we're doing a price change or something that's going to impact the business materially, we're talking through that. And then I save a little bit of time for extra projects and things like that. And Snow is what I'm most known for, but I'm the founder and CEO of a couple other companies, particularly founder. And then I've got about 24 invested businesses in all kinds of industries. And then we've got our couple e-commerce brands. But Snow still takes up, let's say a 12-hour day. I would say it's probably 6 to 8 hours at least. Sometimes it's the full 12. It just depends on the day. And then I get a little bit of extra time to burn the midnight oil on some of the other businesses I'm working on, and then cross-pollinate. Snow's been successful as a result of me being able to bring in additional resources, and then I do charity work, spend time with my fiance and friends. Balance is important. Try to get active. Today I had a boxing class and a workout with my trainer, so try to do those things, mix it all in, and honestly, some days, some weeks, it's about seasons. You go through so many seasons in your life, and some seasons are more difficult than others. Some require a lot more commitment to work, and you're like, is this ever gonna end? 12-hour days for 3 months in a row, like, I don't know, this is a lot. But it changes, and you're in control of it, and I think right now, I'm very busy because we've got some really exciting stuff. Snow is in a very, very interesting position, and you know, it's the sport of business. It's like a game. And I'm at a really good part in the game. And it's kind of like chess too, and every move drastically changes the future of the game. And so I imagine myself like walking around in snow, like the old guy walking around in New York City, and he's playing 4 games at once or 6 games at once. He's not actively, like if you were running 4 marathons at once in separate states, you couldn't do that. But because the game allows you to sit down, analyze the board, make that move, get up, move to the next one, analyze the board, move it. It's like the guys who do the Rubik's Cube. They look at it for a little bit and then bam. Yeah. And so that's kind of what I'm doing all day is Slack. I mean, it looks different. It's not that, but you know, it's Slack, it's phone calls, I'm texting. I'm always moving. People see me on a plane sometimes, and it happens often, and they'll be like, what do you do? And it's not just because they want to know what I do, but they see me cranking away on, I was flying back from Italy, and I was just on one, and I was just ripping through so much work. Probably went through like 5,000 emails. All my Slack was updated, 1,000 text messages updated. I'm always behind, but you know, you got to just prioritize. That's what it comes down to. So I spend the morning and the night before prioritizing as best as I can what's going to move the needle, and I try to stay as focused as I can. And then I hire incredible people, get out of their way, support them. We work together on alignment, and that way I don't have to babysit them, because I'm the worst micromanager in that aspect. I really don't like to do that. So it's better for me to spend a little more time finding someone that I'm not gonna have to do that with. And I make it very clear that their job is to do what they do best, and we wanna get to mastery. If you're here to just clock in, clock out, knowing that the team's gonna eat you alive, like that's just not what we do. It's a very competitive, healthy competitive, but growth-focused environment. It's a growth environment. So you gotta create that. As the founder, as the CEO, or as the leader, you set the tone. And so if you set the tone as like, you know, learn how to utilize Josh in the best way. Don't go to him and say, where's the stapler? Or like, you know, where's this email, right? If you don't, you know, train your team, they're not gonna know how to utilize you, and they're gonna think you're useless. So you've got to train them and say, this is what I'm really good at, this is what I'm struggling with, this is what I need your help with, I need your accountability here, and I'll help you here. And then I think it comes down to that communication of getting accountability and buy-in from them and saying, James, do you really think this is possible? Yes. Okay. How long do you think something like this would take? So leading with questions, doing your best to do that. So that way you're not just bulldozing, which I'm guilty of, just bulldozing, like not even gonna go the other route, we're just going there. So hold on tight, strap in, give me 20 minutes, and then I'll leave you alone. But you gotta train your team to do that. Otherwise you will continue to be bogged down.